Well, welcome to an extended midseason edition of Catching Up with Coach T. I'm Assistant Director of Athletic Communications, Dylan Smith, and I'm joined by none other than head baseball coach Edwin Thompson. Coach Thompson, how you doing today?
Dylan, it's great. It's raining outside, and I don't have to worrying about trying to get the game in. It's kind of a crazy dynamic. I'm just watching the weather like anybody else in this area, so it's great. And obviously, off two big wins of lacrosse last night, so I'm excited about watching that and looking forward to Saturday, watching cheer on the Hoyas win the championship.
I was going to ask, is there any big plans with this off weekend? Obviously, there's going to be some Big East baseball going on, but obviously some championship stuff going on with both men's and women's lacrosse. And, what's the agenda for the weekend?
Just supporting the Hoyas. That's it. Softball's playing. I mean, we got a full weekend of Hoya support, but Mother's Day is coming up, so in my household, that's important. Take care of my wife and just obviously just support her all that she does for us and my family. But all the mothers out there, looking forward to just wishing them all a happy Mother's Day. So just getting ready for next week. Prep work as always is going to go, but supporting the Hoyas as always.
Well, we always appreciate the sport as I'm sure men's lax, women's lax, and softball and all the sports here are very appreciative of that for sure. But let's dive in. I mean, we've seen some amazing things happen since last time we chatted on this. Let's talk about Big East play. The team's obviously doing pretty well, sitting in the 4th spot. Obviously, you want to move up in the ranks and get yourself solidified in the postseason conversation. But let's talk about those first 15 games. You obviously played Villanova, played Creighton, Butler, Xavier, and last week in Seton Hall. Talk about some of those series. What was working well for the team? What were some learning experiences that you guys had, and really buy into some of that mentality to get yourself prepared for potential postseason play?
Yeah, I think the Big East is hard. It's one of the best top 10 leagues in the country for a reason. So there's never an off weekend where you kind of just sit back and just roll the balls out and just play and hope you win. I mean, it makes it challenging. So the first weekend was at Villanova. We won that series, very hard fought series, and a good series to win at our home opener. Then we had back-to-back road series, Butler and Creighton and Butler. Two tough trips to get out there, to be honest. And so to go to Omaha and played Creighton and kind of just let one game away. It was close on a Friday and had a couple close ones there, but just couldn't find a way to get that victory. But then we went on the road and responded really well to beat Butler on the road, 2 out of 3, which is, I always tell the team, to be a playoff team, you got to win on the road. You got to win road series, and so that was big. And then coming home for Xavier, great series again, 3 great games, 3 close games. We won one, lost a couple close ones. So, and then we just bounced back, and then we won the series last weekend against Seton Hall, a very, very good team. The record, like many teams in our league, doesn't dictate how good they are. They have really good pitching, and they played well, and they beat us on Sunday. But, to win the series was another important one, which I think is like our 7th series we've won this year overall, including, non-conference games. So it's just, we're playing good baseball, and that's kind of what we want to do as we get down the stretch in these last few weeks of Big East play, going to St. John's and UConn.
Well, let's backtrack a second here, because you said that's what you want to do to play good baseball. We've seen some of this record-breaking moments this season, and obviously you have the home run record shattered against Villanova. You see not only team records but individual records across the board just kind of being dropped on the fly. What does it take to be successful? I mean, we've had this conversation a couple of times in recent weeks, but what are guys doing and what are guys buying into that has made this team successful this year?
They've been consistent. We kind of know, we're going to be competitive, and that's been hopefully a staple of our teams and the teams that I have here at Georgetown and I've had in the past. But just being competitive, no matter what the situation, being able to just know that if we play good baseball, if we keep it simple and we do the basics, by the end of the game, we'll have a chance to win. And you look at, like we went on the road against Virginia, 8th team in the country, whatever they were. And the game was right there for us. And it was a close game until the 8th inning, and a tie ball game, whatever it was. And so it really doesn't matter who the opponent is, just playing the game with our style and the way we go about our business has been attributing to our success. Obviously, our coaches prepare them well, Coach McDougall, Coach Keener, and Coach Cape, getting our guys prepared. But ultimately, the players have to be invested in that process of having success and knowing that if we don't have our day, hey, win or lose, we're going to let that, kind of help us get better for the next game. And so even if we win or lose, we're always getting better. And that's kind of been our focus each time, is just continue to progress to play our best baseball. We haven't done that yet. We haven't really played on all cylinders via lack of injury, guys injured or whatever. So hopefully kind of to get this little bit of rest this week to catch our breath, get our finals done, and then kind of just focus on the baseball the last few weeks and get into hopefully postseason. So I think being consistent has been a staple of this team and their ability to compete and show up. Those two things have always going to allow you to be successful in life.
Definitely for sure. Now, before we get into the final stretch, as we like to put it, of these final 2 weeks of the season and, kind of gear up for that potential postseason play, we've had some specialty events happen in the last few weeks, and, notably being GW versus Georgetown being the first time playing in DC in what seems like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also had a first pitch, ceremony of first pitch with Representative Oye Oluwewa, who, I've seen you have this great conversation with him after the game. And, where did that conversation start? And, what do you expect him to kind of be a working partner with in the future? And what's that conversation been like with him?
Yeah, well, to play play a game against GW in Washington, D.C., it meant a lot, and I think it's something that only two Division I teams in DC to play in DC was special, and to have him coming out. I think our relationship just kind of started because I love of baseball. He likes baseball. I'm a big into baseball, obviously, but we connected via our community connections, and just being able to have that same vision to have a great product to help support the kids in our community, which he's doing, which we'll continue to do, and have support from him, and we'll help him out in his ventures, and he'll help us in our ventures. And so partnership in our community with Georgetown is so important. It's what our mission is. It's what we do. And ultimately his partnership is going to be fun to grow as we kind of move forward in the future. But just to have that type of support to come out and throw a first pitch, it was fun and our kids enjoyed having him he talked after the game. So it was good. Really happy to have him out and being a part of our program.
Well, you mentioned support being kind of a key catalyst in your conversations. And as I've gotten to know you this year, it just seems like you've been able to make those connections with not only, representatives in the community, with people at Georgetown, but, the alumni base has also been something that you've been working heavily on. And, we did have a pretty solid turnout at our alumni day against Seton Hall on Saturday. And talk a little bit about that. What was it like to bring some of those guys back? And obviously you brought them in to talk with the guys as well. And what does that support mean for not only your team, but your program in its entirety?
Well, they're the foundation of our program. We stand on their shoulders. Like, they built this program. They built the infrastructure. All the success we're having is a byproduct of, the previous players, the previous coaches. And so, all we're trying to do is represent the program in the first class manner that it is. And so having guys come back, it's always great for our guys to be able to see and hear stories and talk about their experiences, what they're doing with their lives now, and then ultimately how strong and how big of a network of alumni that we do have in the baseball community. And it was just great, guys able to kind of just get behind the scenes, and, we're not behind a screen in the Zoom. So just meeting them in person, for me, for a lot of them the first time, was really special, in a lot of different circumstances. So that part was great. And just to see some of the players we had last year, which was awesome. Some of the guys that I coach, even those one, short in time, that was just, and they're just so proud of the program and kind of being a part of it. And so it's just really a special place at Georgetown. And that connection is not just fake, but it's genuine. And they genuinely are excited. They're genuinely watching the box scores, or watching the games on live stream, or watching us on, different platforms. So their support is real, and whether all of them were there or not, but they're all supporting the program. And so that was kind of the message that they gave to our kids was, hey, we're all behind you. And I think that's kind of what Hoyas are. We're all stick together, and it just makes it that much more enjoyable when we actually get a chance to see them in person.
Yeah, I love that point of, just being able to connect. And obviously, they've made such an impact on this team, and it really does resonate. And you can see the smiles on everybody's faces, just being back and being immersed in the program. And it just seemed like everybody was just so joyous to be there. And obviously seeing you and your staff and your team just being able to kind of immerse yourselves in them as well. Just a real great sight to see.
Plus, it doesn't hurt when we won the series on that day too. That helped.
For sure. On back-to-back shutouts, nonetheless. I mean, that was talk about his history in and of itself. I mean, first
Yeah.
time you've shut out a Big East opponent in back-to-back games in program history, and since Big East has been formed, like that's an unbelievable feat. And then to have not only and I don't want to just say the alumni were the driving force behind it, because Bosch and Jack pitched really well, but I guess that support really proved that when you have fans there and you have alumni that are backing you, and you are believed in, it really does prove that you can win games, and it proved on that Saturday no matter what.
Oh yeah, no, we had great fans. I mean, it was a great crowd. Obviously, Noah McCarthy on Friday and Carter Bosch and Jack Weeks kind of combined on Saturday. So the ability for us is just to enjoy those moments, right? They're hard, right? Obviously, it hadn't happened in the program. So when you have those opportunities, we do value those. We don't just look past that. But there's some things, historical components we are appreciative of. But yeah, the energy we had with all the factors of alums and the youth little league teams, just the Bowie community came out and really support us, and the Hoya community came out. So it was just great day for everybody. So looking forward to the next time.
Well, let's jump into the next time. I mean, obviously you have 6 games left in Big East play, but the first game back is against a very strong Penn State team that's well recognized and well coached. And talk about going back into action after this off weekend, and what you need to bring for Penn State, and obviously Bowie going into it.
Yeah, like anything, baseball's a game of rhythm, right? And it's kind of consistency, and you kind of get in the routine. And I think so. This weekend is a finals are going on, so we give the guys a couple of days off to kind of make sure that their academics are in line. We'll still get our work in, here and there throughout the weekend, just kind of casually. We'll get kind of going back in a normal week on Monday, and then we play Tuesday. Yeah, Penn State to come down and at Bowie Baysox 6 o'clock on Tuesday next week, and it's just a great opportunity, another test for us. We want to challenge our schedule, regional schedule, to play really good teams, to prepare us for, conference play and ultimately conference baseball, and ultimately, get into regional. Those are the expectations in our program. So to play the good teams we can. We just played Maryland, played Navy. I mean, these are good teams, good programs historically, and then Penn State to come down and we're looking forward to kind of get a relationship with them. We're going to go back up there next year and play them. So we're excited. Anytime you have a Power 5 team come play at home, you have to get excited about that. And then just getting back into rhythm will be an important part. So you'll see a lot of pitchers being used that day. A lot of guys kind of getting back in there, getting the reps, live reps. So hopefully get everything lined up and get synced up to go to St. John's.
Well, that's perfect segue right into St. John's and UConn. I mean, how does Georgetown stack up to not only St. John's, but UConn and stuff? That'll be your final series of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But also, how important is it to get wins on the road? I mean, we mentioned it earlier. You have to win on the road, especially in conference play, and it's extremely hard. But how crucial is this first series against St. John's to ensure that there is a legitimate shot that you get into the Big East tournament and have that postseason for the first time?
Well, the good thing is, no matter what happens on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week, we know that it's always going to come down to the last weekend. And we're playing on the meaningful games in the last weekend of every year. We've done our job, right? And so we're in position now. He's got to finish and close. And so, it's not going to be any different. I mean, I think it's kind of the same old, cliche. It's just another game, and we have to go out there and perform. Obviously, it's on the road, and we'll have a great alumni base coming out there from New York, I'm pretty sure, to support us. That will be exciting. But we just have to go out and play good baseball. If we play good baseball, we'll have a chance to win. And that's what we've seen all year long, no matter who we played. So I think that's always going to be our focus, is just don't lose to Georgetown. If we don't do that, we'll be in position to be where we need to be when we need to be there.
Well, Coach, I've got nothing left for you. Is there any last things you want to mention? I mean, we got just a handful of games left, and we're really excited to see what this team does moving forward. And there's so much to be hyped around, and a lot of excitement coming up.
Yeah, no, not really. I just appreciate all the fans that have been coming out to watch our games. I really have it. Really, the guys really appreciate it. And we had Hoya Blue come out one night against GW, and just that level of support is just really we take it very, very, very pridefully, and we thankful. And we come on out again. Obviously we have 4 more home games left, and so. But if you're in the area out in New York, come out and support us, and then we'll just looking forward to that. So. Good luck to men's and women's lacrosse, softball, track, everyone that's still going on this weekend. But and obviously all the student athletes in finals. Good luck with that. But thanks for another edition. Excited to get some time, and we'll see you next Tuesday at Bowie.
Coach, always appreciate your time. And on behalf of you, I'm Dylan Smith, and this has been Catching Up with Coach T.